All right, so trimming your torus or donut base, it's just the same way that you trim anything else. So I want to try to center. I don't have mine on a bat, but you have to be careful of the bat pin, so just kind of be mindful of that. I'm gonna try to continue to support the top like I usually do when I trim stuff, and I'm just trimming a lot slower. So I'm moving my trimming tool a lot slower. My wheel's a lot slower than when I normally trim, and mostly that's because I don't want it to fly off the wheel, especially when I get into this inner circle. So you want it to be a little bit wetter than what you normally trim, especially if you want to like take it out of round at all or do any like cuts in it. I'm just gonna make sure this is pretty flat and just centered. Just watch your fingers on the bat pins if you're not using a bat. Alright, so I'm just slowly rounding out these edges. You probably have, you know, a good amount of weight right here. So you can take that off. I just want to make sure, like every once in a while, I'm giving a little push just to see that I'm not getting too thin. And just really kind of making it very round. A little dent in mine. I think it's from where I cut it off the wheel, but anyway. So for the most part, you can just use your lines on your wheel or make some lines with your finger and some slip to get this nice and centered. But definitely make sure that it's centered. Okay, I'm gonna go down the side a little bit and just really try to round everything. You know, just like when you're normal throwing, you probably have a lot of weight right here too. So my 2 points that were against my wheel is probably where I have a lot of weight. So right here, right here. If you went down to that 1/4 of an inch, then you know that right here you have a 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna keep going around. I'm still holding my donut. I don't want it to fly off the wheel. So just be really careful, especially when you get to this inside part. I'm just taking off really small amounts. I can go all the way into the inside. Just watch your tool that you don't nick anywhere else. Take off small amounts. Give a little push back. I can also use my rib to really smooth out those trimming lines if I want everything to be nice and smooth and polished. So I would use a flexible red rib if I were doing this. Just again, be careful. Watch this back end of the rib when you come into the inside, that you're not bending it so much that it's gonna hit. But I can go around. And I'm getting it pretty smooth. Then I can flip it over. Clean your wheel off. Line it up with your circles. Watch your bat pin. I keep gouging it with my fingernails. Make sure I'm nice and centered before I start trimming. Alright, and then you can also trim on this side if you want. So if you didn't feel like you got it quite round enough with your throwing, or it got a little off center, just be careful right here on this top bit, because that's your thinnest spot where you closed it up. And I can kind of do more rounding if I wanted to with my trimming tool, or I can just go in with my flexible rib and just do some smoothing. Just remember, if you don't have a bat on here, watch your bat pins. I can go all the way into the inside, all the way back up and around and down, just watching my bat pins. And this just gets it really nice and smooth. And it's also good because it compresses where your seam was. All right, so that's it with that. I want to think about what I want to do with this. I can put it up on its end like this and think about like if I want to cut holes in the top to have it be a flower vase, or if I want to put it on a stand. If I want to, I can do like a little tapping and make sure that it's nice and flat so it's not going to roll away. If it's flexible enough, which mine is not right now, but I could do like some real altering with the shape. You could think about paddling it. Before I do too many alters, I do want to take my needle tool. I'm not sure I have one over here, but I do have an X-Acto knife. So if you're gonna put any holes in it anywhere, before you start tapping it, just give it like a little exhaust hole. I don't know if you could hear that, but the air just really escaped there. Just that would be helpful in keeping your seams intact. So now if I do like any tapping, the air has somewhere to go and it's not, you know, pushing on the seam, because that's your weakest spot. So I'm just putting a little air hole. It can be as small as your needle tool. Okay, but kind of endless options. Bird feeder, you would want to think about where you want to hang it from, where you want to put your little dowel rod out, how you want to put your hole. Some people I know for bird feeders, like in case water gets in there, they put some drainage holes on the bottom that maybe are smaller than the seeds so the water can get out but the seeds stay in. Just think about all that stuff. All right, good luck.